I'm only one drink away from the devil. I'm only one call away from home.
Welcome back to the Cutty and Govy show. For the last 2 weeks, I've been having fun with Govy's TV. It's been broken, now it's fixed. Let's move on, Govy. It's repaired. We don't need to talk about it anymore. Okay, folks. Just kidding you, Govy. If you want to add to it, go ahead.
Hey,
you own the show. You say whatever you
Well,
want.
I'm telling you what, it's great that it is fixed because tonight is a really special night for Philadelphians.
It is.
I mean, how many times can you have the Philadelphia Phillies playing in a playoff game, elimination game, actually, if they lose?
Why is it so early? Is it an afternoon game in L.A.?
Well, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah,
in LA
it's an
time,
afternoon
but that's because there is Thursday night football.
Oh,
And
got it.
and the Eagles are playing Thursday night against the New York Giants.
Which is a short schedule,
And
folks.
and Philadelphia likes their hockey. They like their Philadelphia Flyers. Tonight is the first game of the NHL season for the Flyers, and they're playing the Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers. So you got three sports teams all going in, all a little bit staggering different times. So I figure by the time the baseball game is in the 8th inning, the New York Giants Philadelphia Eagles game will be starting.
So Govy has his Philly shirts on. They're down 2-1.
Philly shirt and Barkley, Saquon Barkley
Yeah.
Eagle shirt.
So Phillies are down 2-1 in the playoffs to the Dodgers. First two games sucked. They were in Philly. They almost came back the last game. But last night, or was it 2 nights ago, they smoked them. Last night it was a great game, and tonight's in Dodgerland.
But
again.
to be a true Philadelphia fan, you know that when it was 0-2 and it's the best out of 5 series, you knew that sort of like the Phillies are going to win the 2 games in Los Angeles. You're going to feel really good about yourself. They're going to come back to Philadelphia on the last game, sudden death, and you know they're going to lose to the Dodgers.
It's really interesting. You know, Philly lost both games at home, and the Dodgers potentially could lose both games at home. You know, home game advantage, especially in Philly land when you're playing at home. It's really great stuff. Santa Claus is there and everything.
What was crazy about last night's game is that when Schwarber hit this 455-foot home run that basically left Dodger Stadium, hit the upper pavilion.
Have you ever been to Dodger Stadium?
No.
Oh, my God, it's crazy. I've been there with my son.
Well, I love Vince Scully. He was my favorite. But what's crazy about the home run is he's the first person to hit a home run out of there. There's only been like 2 people. And the last person that hit it was Willie Stargell in 1971.
I was going to say 81.
Now, we know Willie Stargell, but a lot of people have no idea who Willie Stargell is. It's crazy. 1971. I mean, just think about this. In 1971.
What year was Tommy Lasorda the manager there?
Oh, he was there from the
2000s?
No, through the 70s. They had, so he was through the 70s. I don't know if he was there
great.
in 71. But the bottom line is that Veterans Stadium was built in 1971. We're already on to a different ballpark.
The parking lot there is such a shit show.
I looked at last night.
Oh, my God. It's like a night. I remember wandering around that lot looking for my car because it's not like a normal lot where there's markers and you can figure out, I was at G2.
Candlestick Park in San Francisco was like that. But
oh, my God. We were wandering around for an hour trying to figure out where we went. All right, folks. Right now, Donald Trump is boasting that he's got this Hamas deal done. And the hostages are supposed to be released on Monday. I'm having problems with my words today. Supposed to be released on Monday. I'm going to take the side against Govy. These Hamas people have been creeps forever. They're exchanging 1,700 prisoners of war for the hostages. I understand they want to get the hostages back, but you're giving Hamas 1,700 of their soldiers back to regroup and come kill Israelis. I think it's a huge mistake. I don't think the hostages, look at Govy, I don't think the hostages ever get released. They're half released. There's some plan. And now you're going to have to if they do, 1,700 soldiers are coming back on the battlefield. They're going to have 6 months to get some money, to regroup. I think it's a huge mistake. BB, if you're listening to me, go annihilate them. Trump, you don't listen to me anymore. So I think it's
I think you're crazy. It's done.
It's not done.
Yeah, the reason why it's done.
They have never honored anything in their life. Why are they going to honor this
Because
deal?
this is the first.
It's 72 hours from now.
Because this is the first time that you have Turkey, you have
Big deal.
Qatar,
They don't care.
You have all these countries that are basically telling them, take the deal or Hamas, you're not going to be able to live in this country. By the way, part of the deal is that Trump let Hamas leave unharmed, that Israel will not touch the Hamas. So anybody who
Yeah,
wants
but I
to,
guarantee there's a fine line in there that says the minute Hamas breaks the ceasefire, Israel's allowed to destroy
they're
them.
going to get their hostages back. So Israel just wants the hostages back right now. They want to break the ceasefire a week from now. Then they have no leverage. They're giving up the hostages.
Folks, Cutty's saying no hostages come out.
Well, listen,
Let me ask you a
I've only
question.
been wrong one time in the last 2 years. You know
I've been wrong every time.
You know what
but-
that one time was? I thought Fetterman was like out to lunch moron. I'm wrong. This guy is the best Democratic senator out there because
right.
he basically sticks to his values. He doesn't care how much pressure is coming from the other side. He was
Well,
always
he is a Jew, right? So he is taking
he
the
was
side.
he was pro Israel on this situation. He knew right from the very beginning. And no, I don't think he is Jewish.
He is Jewish.
I don't think so.
Cole?
He's outside. But I don't
He's
think
Jewish.
I don't think he is.
He's Jewish.
Okay.
Fetterman's a Jewish
I don't
name.
think I don't care if it's a
All right, I'm Googling it while you talk. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so I don't think. So I think that he happens to be right. He's on this situation. The one thing I got to tell you, I don't know why Donald Trump keeps talking about this Nobel Peace Prize. Why it's such a big deal. All you keep hearing about from everybody, from all these other world leaders, is if he can get this, he gets the Nobel Peace Prize. Who gives a crap about this Nobel Peace Prize? They gave a Nobel Peace Prize to Barack Obama because he won the nomination to be president of the United States, to be the first African American president. Why does that get the Nobel Peace Prize? I mean, I just don't get why if you're holding it over the guy already solved 7 world conflicts. Like, it's enough. Who cares? Move on.
But don't you think, what has Hamas ever done to honor any of their, stuff? They have never honored one of their words. Why do you really believe? Because Trump says he
Because the whole
signed-
world's looking now. Now you got all these people. You got the Palestinians celebrating in the street. What are you going to do? Tease them? You're going to sit there? Don't worry about it, Cuddy. I'm right on this one.
You say he's not Jewish. I'm telling you.
Okay. Well, anyway.
You can speak. Go ahead.
Yeah. So
You
anyway,
take over
I
the show.
think
You
I
own it.
think I think that this one is a done deal. Trump's getting ready just to get. By the way, one reason why it's Monday and Tuesday, he can't just go to the Middle East without the Secret Service scouting out everything. They got to make sure it's safe. It takes a couple days to figure it out.
And then how is Donald Trump going to possibly, with security concerns, go to the Middle East? I mean, how's he going to do
He's
that?
doing it. So that's where I think it's crazy. It happens to be great news. It's been over 2 years. One of the things they're worried about, by the way, with the hostages, they said that Hamas is going to be feeding these hostages right now. And they said, like, from the concentration camps, doctors said that that's kind of dangerous to feed them quickly. They have to, like, you just can't eat so fast. But,
Well, I mean, I'm sure they're in tragic shape, but all these folks that came out seem to have recovered. When you look at the people that have come out that have done interviews, I mean, the ones that aren't dead,
it is resilient. They are resilient.
Yeah.
But now you're going to see some.
some really bad, healthy people. Well, Govy, the government, I'm supposed to travel next week. The government is shut down, and the air traffic controllers are calling out sick because they haven't been paid in a week or 9 days.
They have been paid. They don't get paid starting October 14th. They
All
got
right,
paid 2 weeks.
technically.
But they keep saying they haven't
But the
gotten paid.
days that they've been paid for, I don't think they've been paid for the days they worked this week. Have they?
I think
The
they're
pay
paid up until the 14th.
for the days that they
Right.
worked.
So when they keep saying they haven't been paid, yeah, come the 14th, they should be getting another check. And
But I have a conspiracy theory on this, Govy. Donald Trump is in a war with Jerome Powell to lower interest rates. And the Federal Reserve has a dual mandate, employment and inflation. Keep unemployment low and keep inflation low. And it's very hard to balance the two. By Donald Trump firing all these workers for the government, unemployment's going to go up, which is going to give the Federal Reserve ammunition to lower rates. He's talking about firing a lot of people with good jobs. I mean, how many people are going to get fired on this government
well,
shutdown?
he's threatening that right now. He's threatening that he's going to concentrate on them being Democratic jobs mainly. He gets to choose which job that he thinks are necessary or not. The Democrats are giving Trump power to get rid of what he always wanted to. So I think that Chuck Schumer is playing into his hands. I think that they're trying to play chicken, and I think it's going to backfire on the Democratic Party. I think they could just get it done. When they keep saying health care, that this is all about health care and Medicaid, and that there could be 1 million people without Medicaid, the 1 million people are the illegal immigrants, or they're the 27-year-olds that are sitting at home not working that are completely healthy. They are actually people that shouldn't be on Medicaid.
But why
So you
doesn't-
got to get rid of that.
Yeah, but why doesn't the government figure out like a contingency plan? This seems to happen twice a year. Why don't they figure out a contingency plan so that the people in the Army, the air traffic controllers, these essential people that are forced to work under their union contracts, but even if they don't get paid, there's some kind of kitty that's put aside, like the strategic oil reserve.
It's a great question. One thing is, first thing you got to do is anytime there's a work stoppage, all congressmen, all senators, everybody, no one gets paid.
That's a no-brainer. I think that
I mean,
should
for them to
happen.
be getting paid while they're telling other people not
Right,
to
that's a
is a
no-brainer.
joke. So that's the first thing everybody can agree on. The second thing is
That's a Warren Buffett theory.
you could come up with a state of an emergency. I don't even know if it's still in the arsenal. Maybe Donald Trump could say, you know what? It's a state of emergency. Our military must be paid. We can't have soldiers walking
you
off.
have FEMA money. You have all these extra
Take it.
pockets of money
Right.
that you could borrow from.
And maybe that's what he has to do.
Yeah.
And because I can't imagine that if there was a war right now that we needed to use our military, that we're going to ask them to risk their lives.
Well, think about it. You know, you're in the Army, you're in the Marines, you're in the Navy. You have 2 little kids and a wife living in Ohio, and you're in a ship somewhere, and now you're not going to get paid? I mean, and why are you going to join the Army if you're facing stuff
Well, I got
like
one
that?
better for you. Why are you joining the Army? To protect the country and to protect the Constitution
That's screwing
and
you over.
your freedom of speech and all your rights for an illegal immigrant to get health care. Like, why you're not getting paid so an illegal immigrant can get his
But
health
I
care?
don't understand this, Govy. Explain it to me. The Republicans are saying that talking point. The Democrats are saying that's not true. What is the truth? Is the fight over health care for illegal immigrants? What's the fight over
It's
that
part
they're
of the
not
hospitals.
signing
Hospitals-
this CR, the continuing resolution?
The continuing resolution bought them until like November 26th that they could talk about this to try to hash things out.
Okay.
It's been done 13 times. There's nothing added to the bill. So when all these CRs come, usually someone loads in a bunch of stuff that you're like, I don't want to agree to that because there's other stuff in it. So for the last 13 times, Republicans and Democrats said, okay, let a clean CR go through. Well, now the Democrats are saying, wait a second, we're going to add $1 trillion to it. All that big, beautiful bill, some of the stuff that's in
Right,
there,
got knocked out.
they want to take it out. You can't. It's just not going to happen. So what's going to end up happening is eventually, like you said, the big question is how long can the military go without? You know what?
How long can a worker? We're fortunate. How long can a working family, when they're piling $400 worth of groceries in a basket
Well,
with 2 little kids, car payments, mortgage payments, how long can they last without a paycheck?
Well, it's going to come down to what's essential, and it's going to go to the Supreme Court if it has to. Who is an
Well, they
essential
better hurry
worker?
up.
Who's an essential worker that Trump could say you're getting paid? We're taking out of an emergency.
Is a trash man an essential worker? You saw that
Yeah.
chaos in Philly.
Yeah,
Is a cop an essential worker? Is a fireman an essential
they're
worker?
essential workers.
Okay.
Is a guy working at the IRS right now trying to do tax returns an essential worker? Probably not.
How about the guy in a trauma center?
That's
You know?
essential. But there's a ton of government jobs out there that might not be. You know, it could be.
How about the mailman? If you live on Social Security and you don't get it direct deposit and it goes in the mail,
You could slow it down. You could cut the staff. You could lay off half the mail people. Half of all the mail that's coming to your house is junk.
right.
I mean, you could do a lot with. Really, do you really think the mail needs to be delivered to you 6 days a week?
I think if you try and wrap your head around the fact that there is a mailman that goes to every single house in America every day, I mean,
6 days.
It's staggering that happens still.
Right? Do you need to have it 6 days?
No, I mean, just think about it. It's just an astronomical amount of money. You have a mailman going to every single house in America every day. It's a crazy thought.
Right. So that should be changed.
Especially, that's like Social Security, everything that's happening in our world, nobody is taking into account technology. All these things were in place in the 20s, the 30s, the 40s. Now that technology and AI and all this stuff is happening, they have to change all this stuff. All this stuff has to
Well,
change.
In gun control, because I'm for some gun control measures, one is when they said you have the right to bear arms, when the forefathers said that, they didn't think AK-47s were around.
Right.
Don't forget there was no machine guns back then. So maybe if there was machine guns, they might have said, listen, bear arms isn't like you don't need to supply Walmart with venison.
Well, how about all the stuff in the Bible? We don't talk religion on this show, but the Bible was written how many years ago? I mean, and everybody's, if you're religious, you're living by what's in that Bible. And I mean, half of it doesn't apply to today's world.
Well, there is that movie with Mel Brooks. It's History of the World.
Right.
And the
I
guy
remember
came
that.
down with the 10 Commandments, but there was actually 15. It shows you there was 15. And he stumbled and he dropped 5. And he said,
Got edited
there's 10
out.
No, there's 10 Commandments. But how do you know there wasn't really 15? And he dropped one. But anyway, that's... But, right now with everything that's going on, with Trump trying to do this whole thing with Hamas, he's dealing in our own country, though, with like Pritzker. I mean, here's a guy that says in front of the country, if he's coming after my people, he has to come through me first. I mean, there's 50 shootings a weekend
What
in
common
Chicago.
sense person doesn't want these people gone?
I don't
get
understand
the
it.
whole thing. I mean, I live in Chicago. I'm going to tell my governor to shut up. I mean,
And the
really,
mayor.
you're not going to want somebody to come clean your city up. You have 50 shootings, stabbings, everything going on.
The mayor Johnson saying this won't be the first time that Trump tried to arrest a black man. I mean, he's basically saying you're in the way right now. If you really care about the black on black killings, it's 50 a weekend. Just like the people that are living there want the National Guard. Just like if I said to you, if I was living in New York, would you want the National Guard there if it was a danger zone? You would probably say yes. When you hear Newsom say, wait a second, during our election, they're going to have ICE outside the voting booths. That's horrible. You can't do that. And they're thinking, why? If you were legal, if you were a legal citizen, would it bother you if ICE was outside a voting booth?
Well, obviously, the Democrats have all these illegal immigrants voting, and
Well, my whole point is.
So you're picking a side. I'm not saying you're correct. I'm saying if you're a Democrat, you want the illegal immigrants to vote. I mean, you're going to get in.
So is that? But that's wrong. That's wrong on what it's supposed to be. You don't want illegal.
It's wrong according to you.
But
not
by the way,
according to the Democrats.
California has 10% of the population's illegal.
Yeah, and that's the way it is.
And Oregon right now, you have the actual. You actually have the governor of Oregon and you have the mayor of Portland basically saying there's no crime here. 120 days they've been attacking a federal building. The 9th District already ruled in favor of Trump that you could bring the National Guard in to protect federal buildings. They're going to lose. You're allowed to. You can't have 120 days of someone attacking a federal building.
Well, you're right, but if I live in Chicago and I live in the city or I work in the city and I'm a Democrat, why would anybody argue with the fact that the National Guard? I just can't wrap my head around this one either. I'm having a problem.
Because if you're illegal, you don't want the National Guard there. You don't want them to. You don't want
you think
help.
That's it? All the crime is happening by illegals? It's not all happening.
No, it's not. But right now, the police force is so thin on what they're doing. They're not even stopping
Let's say
carjacking.
I'm a Democrat. I own a big restaurant chain. Don't I want it to be safe so people can eat outside and my business prospers? Let's say I have a jewelry store in downtown or I have a sunglass
Depends
store.
who you're employing. What happens if all of a sudden
But I need customers.
But what happens if your clients are illegal? What happens if you're in a place? What?
I'm selling fruit.
Okay, maybe that's where they know that they're coming from.
Yeah.
So maybe it depends on who your clientele is. If you're Gibson Steakhouse, you want the National Guard probably in there. But if you're in a little, Mexican place, Tex-Mex place, that your clientele is Latinos or whatever, maybe you're like, hey, I don't want them here.
Well, now that you're on the subject, let's talk about Bad Bunny in the Super Bowl. America's game, the biggest event of the year. I don't know how many people watch it, 200, 300, 400 million. And everybody's...
No, I thought it's more. I thought it goes to like $1 billion.
Billion. Everybody's against Bad Bunny performing in the Super Bowl. I'm for Bad Bunny. I'm just kidding. I'm not for him.
Well, I'm going to tell you my experience with Bad Bunny again. I said it last week.
Don't tell me you sold him a watch.
No. I'm going to say it again. Bad Bunny was at the Yankees game yesterday.
Yeah,
last
I saw
night.
it.
He did not stand up for the,
He didn't stand for the national anthem.
No, this was like that. The 7th inning. This was America
right,
Beautiful thing.
America the Beautiful.
So he didn't stand for that. But again, he's a sports agent. So he's in the sports world. He is a major sports player as far as baseball goes. Now, I wouldn't care if Bad Bunny was the halftime performer, but before they picked him, before they said you're going to be the halftime thing, he went on record. He's the one who said, I will not perform a concert in the United States because I don't like Trump, the ICE people. Like, he was against America. Now that he said that, and you're the NFL, you could choose 1,000 acts.
1,000.
You don't need to have a country. You don't need Jason Aldean
You
or
could have
Taylor
Luke
Swift.
Combs. You could have anybody.
But you don't even need country. You could come up with, I don't care if it's Motown.
Jake Plant.
You could come up with a ton of Motown, back and forth, rock and roll. But this is America's thing where America's supposed to come together. Now you're choosing a person. You're choosing a person who basically said, I'm not going to do a concert in the United States because I'm boycotting that ICE is going to be there. Why would the NFL do that? Now here's what's happening.
What's the reason?
Because Jay-Z chose this guy.
Get rid of Jay-Z. Who is
First
he?
of all,
I'm an NFL owner. I have an $8 billion team. I'm more juice than Jay-Z.
I want to know why no one has interviewed the NFL. Call up Jerry Jones, the Hunt. Call up Jeffrey Lurie, Kraft. Call up the guy from
Kraft. That's a good one. He's a middle of the road
Call
guy.
them all up and say, by the way, how do you feel about that you were making a political statement?
Right.
That out of all the people you
Right.
could have had, by the way, you knew Bad Bunny stance. It's not like this was a surprise.
But let's go back one shot. You know, it's like the golf pro always says, it's not the putt you missed, it's the shot before the putt. Why did they pick Jay-Z? What was the reason for
Because I guess
picking-
5 years ago with the halftime thing, they just thought with I think the Floyd thing and the Black Lives
okay.
Matter,
Yeah, that
they
makes sense.
decided to let him be in charge. That's
But
why.
why give him a 5-year deal? Give him 1 year and see how he does.
I guess it takes whatever it is. He has some deal with Bad Bunny. I don't know, but it's to me. If you are the NFL owners right now, you got to be pissed off how this could happen. Second thing, what they did not anticipate is there's boycotting going on. There's a lot of people saying they don't want to watch this halftime show. So now you got Turning Point USA.
Which is big now.
Huge. They are coming
Oh,
up.
here, I have my Charlie Kirk bracelet.
Mine too. I got my
Everybody, folks, you can get this on Cutty's store.etsy.com or
Yeah.
Charlie Kirk bracelets,
But-
WWCK.
So Turning Point USA is having a halftime entertainment show. So listen to this, a halftime entertainment show that exactly when halftime starts during the game, you will be able to turn the
That's
channel
brilliant.
and you'll be able to see
Brilliant.
other halftime performers, like top performers they haven't released yet. So if you know all this publicity,
Okay,
the
that's
first thing you
America.
could do, you won't miss one play. As soon as it's halftime, boom, you can flick the channel, get great entertainment, and then click back.
That's why America's the greatest country in the world.
If you
because we
saw the
think out
ratings drop,
box.
if you see the ratings drop, the NFL will sit there and say, how could this happen? How could we take the #1 game, and why did we have to make it political, the halftime? And by the way, you got Donald Trump now, who gets to have that 3 minutes of before the Super Bowl. If you don't think Donald Trump is going to take his 3 minutes and say, you NFL owners, you're the dumbest people in the world to put this situation. How could you let this happen? You're an idiot. He'll call them out.
But the thing I don't understand, Roger Goodell, who's head of the NFL, you know, the chief executive officer, is making $40 million a year plus a G5 or a G650. I mean,
I'd fire him over this.
yeah, if I were like the owners of all these teams, I mean, they have a big investment. I mean, why isn't somebody calling Jay-Z Roger Goodell calling this guy into his office and saying, dude, what are you thinking here? I mean, why not just pick somebody in the middle and let's have a fun show? Why not make it
They have
like
so much
it's
money.
the Super Bowl?
They have so much money that they could go up to Jay-Z and just say, we're firing you. Here's the money. Pay the balance of the contract, whatever he's at. Get somebody else to do it, and it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But they shouldn't be in the
I have a
political.
theory.
What's that?
Okay. Does the NFL as an entity, have any sway over what commercials, like the lady with the Bud commercial? Remember when we had the Bud lady, you know, with
I think they have a little, but not a lot.
they don't have any sway over anybody. If you have $6 or $10 million, you can put a commercial on picking your nose, picking boogies out of your nose. You can say
Right.
anything you want. I remember Ross Perot, I think back in the day, might have.
I think I think if something is
So if you can do that and have a commercial and say anything you want, I think that's what they're lousy analogy. That's allowing Jay-Z to do what he's doing. But if you look, and I only remember the last 2 Super Bowl halftime shows, they were horrible. Remember, they were like this crazy stuff going up and down and the nuts stuff.
Yeah, you know, again, the NFL, all they need to do is to find out a sponsor like Coca-Cola or someone to say, you know what, I'm going to pass on this Super Bowl. You turned it into, it's too political. I'll come back and revisit it. You start getting sponsors, or you see the people turn off the TV. This will never happen again.
They got to know. You don't think the NFL has all kinds of technicians figuring this stuff out? They got to know this is going to be horrible.
I don't think
for
they.
ratings.
I don't think they.
They can't misjudge this.
I don't think they anticipate Turning Point USA saying we're going to put our own entertainment.
Okay, but it's out there now. So what are they going to do about it?
I think they're going to stay with Bad Bunny.
Boy, that is just
Now, what they
insane.
could do to
How
Bad-
about crisis management? Where are these?
Well, what they can
professors
do,
for
what they
crisis
can do to
management?
Bad Bunny is they can say you're the halftime show, but you're only going to do 5 minutes. We're bringing on a second act because sometimes they have 2 acts, and then Bad
Good
Bunny
idea.
could say I don't want to share the stage, and then they could say to Bad Bunny, well, then you're not doing it at all. They could force.
But he's got to say, "I'm not sharing a stage in Spanish."
He could say right, you know, and they could say
That's funny, folks.
Vamonos. But anyway, that's that would be that they have a problem there, and it's
Would that be crazy if they said that and the other person is Mr. Pro America, whoever it is, the guy Lee, whatever his name is, that
Lee Greenwood? Or-
Yeah, he's the other half, and he comes out
Yeah,
and
well,
sings
that could-
Trump's song.
But again, this is a self-inflicted wound.
I
This
don't
is
get it.
like if you're the NFL owners, you're saying, why is this happening?
So imagine somebody. Let's say you pick somebody to manage, advertising for your watch brand or your watch company, and they tell you they're going to pitch something as lunacy as this, I mean, aren't you going to get involved in fire? You know, let's say you have 1 million investors, but you make like you're the Roger Goodell of all the investors.
It's a problem. It's a problem, and it never
just
should
don't
happen.
even understand
It never should happen. So there's going to be. I would like to have someone interview some of these owners just to get their feelings on it. But
why aren't the owners talking? I mean,
maybe
we
they are.
We got to get off of this point, but I'm just curious. In your theory, why aren't these owners, and none of them are shy, they're all billionaires, Robert Kraft? I mean,
I think they want it to die down. I don't think they want any more attention, hoping that it'll just work its
not
way out. But
it's
it
going
won't.
to come to a crescendo.
Right,
now.
but that's maybe what they want. But you know who had a worse week than all this with the Bad Bunny and the whole thing?
P. Diddy?
No, Mark Sanchez.
Oh, yeah.
Mark Sanchez and Pete Diddy are going head to head. But Mark Sanchez, for most people that don't know, he was the butt guy that ran into his own player quarterback for the New York Jets. You know, good-looking guy, took out a lot of coach. But, boy, what drug was he on that this guy, you know, he's televising a football game on Sunday. So on Friday night before the football game, this guy's in an alley running sprints, running 50-yard sprints in his clothes. Like, they knew he was off. And then he basically attacks.
Did you see the guy beat up?
Yeah, he attacked him.
Yeah.
And this guy in self-defense, by the way, for self-defense, to take a penknife out and stab a guy in the chest, you know your life is like at risk. I mean, you're just trying to do anything. And Sanchez beat the crap out of the guy, it looks like. And
he really beat him up bad.
now it's a felony. So Mark Sanchez is, A, going to get fired. 2, he's being sued. And 3, like now the family's you got to know this guy was on drugs.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Again, another going in 60
60
seconds.
seconds.
Read Left Foot, Right Foot, Survival Guide for Business and Life. Great chapter. We talk about it every week because there's another knucklehead out there losing a $10 million a year job. I mean, it's just insane.
All he
What
had
are
to
these people doing?
all he had to do was televise a football game. He only has the job because he was a football quarterback. He's knowledgeable. He's good looking. Boom, you got a job.
Every week I come in here, Govy. I hope I don't make a mistake and lose my. I hope you don't fire me. I don't lose my job. But let's talk about P. Diddy. I personally think this guy should shut up. And so this is the math. He got 50 months. You get 15 or 20% off for right away good behavior. Then you enter this act something or other, drug and alcohol program. You get more time off, and then he served 14 months. Blah 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 blah. He's down to like a year.
Right.
And he goes to a prison camp, dormitory style. Not great. I wouldn't want to spend the night there, but come on, folks. This guy should be throwing a friggin' party. I mean, he's getting a year in a prison camp. Don't appeal it. Just go into prison camp and be done with this
thing. And once he's there, you don't know that 6 months they could let him to a halfway house.
Right.
So, besides him, people, a lot of people don't want to see him do some really time. There's a lot of people that think they saw the video.
Yeah.
So
it was bad.
And just for the same thing, I'll throw the person that people want to see get like some time. James Comey. So here's this FBI guy, and I know there's a lot of people thinking Trump was going for revenge on this.
There's not a video of Comey beating somebody up.
Well, there is a couple things. One is with the revenge. When everybody said, "Oh, Trump's going for revenge," it's like no shit. We knew when if you believe that Donald Trump, after everything he went through, 99 of his people were were arrested. They went after the family. They did this to him. If you think that he was going to say, success is going to be my...
I don't think it's right.
So, in the meantime, but here's where it is right.
So why...
I just want to explain to you why Comey is right.
It's your floor.
James Comey arrested Martha Stewart, not for insider trading. Everybody thinks she maybe went to jail for insider trading. It wasn't. It was... She got off of that. She got arrested for lying to the FBI, for lying under oath.
And that's what he did.
And that's exactly what he did. And he put her in jail. Martha Stewart went to jail. This guy should go to jail because everybody kept saying, nobody's above the law. And when Congress people say, oh, everybody lies to Congress. What do you mean everybody lies to Congress? What if you're going to lie to Congress, if that's acceptable, then what do you got?
But I think what you need to do is these prosecutors really have to thoroughly vet the case. And if they really believe with 100% conviction that he's going to go to jail, pursue it. But if it's going to be one of these cases that he's just going to wiggle out, why waste the time?
It's not just wiggle out. Remember, Donald Trump spent a lot of money, a lot of time, and he has the money. James Comey making money from the books.
You don't think he's going to have a FundMe page and people are going to pay for it?
I think just the...
Oh, come on.
Just that over your head. Just that over your head.
Yeah.
Everything. FBI. And by the way, the worst news is that now the FBI comes out under that they spied on 8 Republican
That's
Senate,
bad.
and you got Ray, who they're going to bring Ray in, and Ray's going to be under oath this time, and then they're going to say to Ray, "You said there wasn't really any FBI agents there on January 6th."
Let me ask you a question. Let's say you get this job. You get the FBI job. I mean, are you ever, now you're the FBI director and somebody tells you have to do this, I would quit. I wouldn't compromise myself. Why do these guys do that? Why is Ray
I don't
doing
think they ever thought they would get caught. I
How
didn't
is that
think
impossible?
they threw
A
this
lie's
behind so
only
many
a lie
files.
if you're the only one that knows. A secret's only a secret
Well,
if you're the
listen,
only
you
one
needed
that
you
knows.
needed to have a person like Cash Patel. You needed to have Pam Bondi, who, by the way, I don't know if you saw.
I did.
I thought that was so entertaining to see her go after all these senators.
Can you imagine being married to her, man?
I got that.
She'd tear you up.
I'd be so
She'd
proud of
rip
her.
you apart.
She went up to Blumenthal, Senator Blumenthal, who, by the way, lied and said he was in the military so he could become a senator. She brought that up. She went up to Whitestone and said, "By the way, you took money for your wife's cause."
She's a mob boss.
Went up to all of them, all the guys, the senator from Illinois. Went after everybody. She was great.
But getting back, yeah, I hear
Comey
you.
and Ray, they're in trouble. How did you spy on 8 Republican senators? Someone's going to have to answer to that.
I say they can't prove it.
They can prove it.
Beyond a reasonable doubt, they're not going to be. There's going to be so much.
So when Ray comes under oath again, he has a choice. He could either tell the truth and say, "Yes, we did," or he can say, "No, we didn't." Then they prove it. Now he's under
How are
oath
they going to prove it?
because they just fired all the FBI agents that were involved in it.
I understand, but all these guys get great lawyers. Look at Pete Diddy.
They know the
There's
exact
cameras
phone
of him
calls.
beating
They know where
somebody
they
up.
were located. They know
I
where you were
understand, but
located.
you got to weave a case together. You got to put it in front of a jury of knuckleheads, and those jurors have to kind of sort
Listen,
it all out. All
let's-
this high technology stuff.
Joe Biden. Now it comes out, by the way, that Biden knew about the Ukraine and the money with tons.
All right, so just
They were corrupt. They were corrupt.
I don't know why we're suspended by TikTok right now, and so we'll touch on the Joe Biden thing. I mean, they're chasing after this guy for almost a year now. They're nowhere. I mean, where are they? Or 2 years? How many? They're not
Well,
going to get anywhere.
It was hidden. Now they're all of a sudden finding things. Listen, you want to know
4
something?
years from now, you're not even
I'll
going to
tell you
know
where
about it.
you expose things. In January, when the Palisade fires took place, all you heard, this Karen Bass who went away and did all the negligent of not having water in the the reservoirs
hydrants
and the
and-
fire hydrants. They kept saying it was because of climate change. We got to all this different. Well, all of a sudden it comes out it was arson. It wasn't climate change. This was a person that took, by the way, it goes to show you, one human being can cause $160 billion worth of damage. If one crazy nut can do this, then you better make sure you have water in the
So
reservoir.
what happens to that guy? How much time
So he
does
goes
he
to
get?
jail.
For how long?
20 years.
Is it that long? He gets 20 years for that?
You think it's not long enough?
Oh no, I agree. It's not long
The,
enough.
the
20
bottom
years.
the bottom line is one
And if people
knucklehead.
died, he gets murder.
Yeah, but one knucklehead can cause that much damage.
Right.
And by the way, these houses aren't even rebuilt yet. So here's the neglect. You got Karen Bass, and they're blaming it on climate change. Blame it on yourself. There was no water in the reservoir that
But
one
we know
person
that's
could do.
never going to happen in California anyway.
Well, you know
Nobody's
what's
blaming
funny?
anything on
You talk about,
anybody.
now that you mentioned California, how about that you have this the person that's running for governor, who's the front runner, this woman, Porter. She thought she was going to be the senator against Schiff. She lost because Pelosi said, "Not so fast." Whack job. You can look at all the
Look
tapes.
at
She's
Govy
a
today,
whack job.
folks.
She's a whack job. She now refused to do an interview. This is who's running California. That is a wacky state.
So what's going to happen to her? She's not resigning. She's not dropping out.
Yeah, they're going to come up with someone else. A
they're
Democrat can
not.
put anybody up there.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
All right, Gabby,
Caruso.
let's go back to Pete Diddy because I want to just touch on that. I mean, do you feel that after all this is done and said, A, it was worth the amount of time, the public attention, and B, he got a right sentence? 4 years, maybe serve a year more. He's been in MDC 14 months, ain't no bargain in there. But now he's getting a year more. And
He
all
got
this
more.
drama-
I think it's a fair sentence, and I'll tell you why I think it's a fair
He
sentence.
had great lawyers.
I'll tell you why I think it's a fair sentence. Someone else, if it's anybody else, the sentence is bad enough.
So let me interject. You're super rich, and let's say this guy over here is poor. Aren't you at an advantage in a crime over a poor person because you're going to get a dream team of lawyers versus the poor guy that's going to have a public defender? You know, Pete Diddy is just not your average black man committing a crime. I mean, he's a superstar.
The difference is where it becomes a little fair for him is
Unfair or fair? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
where it's unfair. Where it's
Unfair,
unfair
okay.
for P. Diddy
Okay.
is to somebody else. They pay their fine, they do their time, they go back in, and hopefully they try to rebuild their life to the way it was. With P. Diddy, who has a tremendous overhead, supporting a lot of people, a lot of businesses, a lot of stuff, he's done. He's done.
Oh,
So
he's not done.
oh, How do you come back from it? What do you think
Because
he's
I
going?
think in his culture, his genre. I mean,
He'll never be the same.
No, but they idolize these guys that have been in jail. I mean, it's street cred. They get street cred. When
No,
he
not
comes
for
out,
this type of stuff. Like if R. Kelly came out right now, do you think R. Kelly would be like, "That's my
What
guy"?
was he in jail for? Little kids?
Yeah,
Or was
kids,
He,
you know,
or a
see-
sexual harassment? I forget what.
Kids.
Kids. Well, that's a different deal.
How
He
do you
wa-
know that there wasn't young kids here? This guy was having.
There was no allegation of him with young
There was
kids.
freak offs. He abused on the tape. You never saw R. Kelly beat the crap out of someone on a
Well, you
tape.
did see that, right?
I mean, he is looked upon in a lot different way than the guy that Hillary Clinton stood up there with, and they were holding hands saying thanks. Like he was endorsing future presidents. That's over. You really think Kamala Harris is going to say, "I need P Diddy"?
I say he makes a slow comeback. Did Mel Gibson, who didn't do this, he was horrible racial comments and stuff.
On alcohol.
He made a comment. Well, wasn't P Diddy on drugs?
I don't know. He had to freak off all these different times. It wasn't one freak off. He had to think about, hey, I need 6 gallons of baby oil.
But let's go back
this.
to our previous show because I'm trying to pin you down here, Govy. You said he's going to get time served. That was your prediction.
Right.
You're not too far.
I thought
off.
originally I said like 4 years, and then it would knock down afterwards. It would be time served, but I'm not off by a lot.
You're not far off. But looking at the entire case, where he was going to get 40 years or 20 to, remember when it happened? Everybody was
We
like,
thought he would give up all his money and save $1 million, and he could start. He would give up everything
Right.
he had in the beginning, everything he had.
So in retrospect of where we were a year and a half ago, where we thought he was going to jail for the rest of his life for 20 or 40 years.
His lawyers did a great job.
His lawyers did a great job.
Right. And by the way, they're the same lawyers. It's the husband and wife team that's representing the guy that killed the healthcare president of the.
Yeah, that's a different case, though. I mean, they have video of the guy shooting a guy.
And by the way, it would be like the Charlie Kirk person getting off.
Right. Well, Charlie Kirk, there's a lot of conspiracy right now. Wasn't
Well, this guy literally shot the guy in the back,
right
and then went up to him and shot him in the head. I don't know how you can get off of that.
But I have to tell another crime story. I'm watching this show about, they have this tractor trailer heist now of all these tequila things.
Guy for his tequila brand,
Right.
20,000 bottles or something.
Right. The hot thing is to rob these tractor trailers,
Right.
to steal these trucks. So I'm watching this alleged mobster talking about back in the day, they had a big heist of Nike sneakers. And there were 2 trucks of Nike sneakers. So Nike is so smart. They stole one of the 2 trucks, and Nike put all the left shoes in one truck and the right shoes in another truck. So the truck they stole weren't full sneakers. They were left shoes.
Right, and they're worthless.
Worthless, right? How crazy.
And the other thing is, what do sneakers really cost Nike?
I don't know. I don't know if there's...
They're not that much money. What, a
there's-
couple bucks a sneaker?
You think that little? I was going to say $120 sneakers, maybe $40, $50.
No way. I bet you $5.
Really? What do you think that Phillies jersey costs that they sell for $100?
$5? It's
$5?
more than $100.
How much is that?
I don't know. It's probably a couple $100.
Is it signed?
No, it's just that it's a real,
And it's a couple $100 for
yeah,
that?
for real jerseys.
Holy smokes.
Can't get replicas.
That guy Fanatics, what's his name, is doing pretty good.
Michael Rubin?
Yeah, I mean, he sells that, right?
Well, he sells it all now.
So he's paying $6 for it and selling it for $200.
I don't know. He's
I guess
getting,
the team
his
gets-
made in America now. He's making a lot in the United
Oh,
States.
really? I was talking to a friend today, talking about tariffs and making it in America and that kind of stuff. A friend of mine owns a gigantic cosmetic company. And he's saying to me, not only is his business lousy since COVID because people were wearing masks and he couldn't do that great with selling cosmetics coming out of that, but he had this big thing that he was making all his cosmetics in America. And his cosmetics were made in Nevada. And he has this big giant factory. So, the plus side of it was all his cosmetics were being made in America, but his packaging was all from China. And the cost of his packaging went up so much that he doesn't make it, with the tariffs, like 150%, that he doesn't make any money on his product now. And his product was made in America, and he can't outsource that packaging. Crazy tariff story.
Well, a lot of packaging, by the way, these packaging companies consolidate it so they don't have a lot of competition to outsource it. Like, the packaging, the plastic that does where the diapers are.
Right.
A lot of people were sending it to packaging companies, all of them. Now, there's only a couple of these packaging that can do stuff like that.
Right. But it's crazy. You don't think about all the component parts when they say, I'm going to make it in America, I'm safe. But he thought he was safe until the packaging got killed.
But you know what a lot of people didn't realize, too? These tractor trailers that were stolen are the people that are driving the tractor trailers. A lot of them are illegal immigrants.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah, they're the truckers.
Well, how do they get a driver's license?
Because you're allowed to get a license in California, New York, and Illinois. They give you license.
Because you have to go through these things on the turnpike that weigh your truck. I'm assuming they look at your credentials.
Well, I think they see that it's on the weight on some. But states like Alabama now, they're basically stopping you at a checkpoint, and if you're illegal, they're calling ICE. They don't want you to go through certain states now. But the person that killed the people, the truck driver that killed the people in Florida, he had a license from California, and he couldn't answer the questions.
Right. Because he didn't speak English.
But he got a. Do you think you should get a license?
No, come on.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that say that you should be able to.
I may be a Democrat, but I mean, I do believe in civilization and rules. I mean, it's so stupid. How are you going to read a stop sign? You know, a sign. You're going to read a stop sign.
There's a documentary coming out on TV on Melania Trump. Are you going to watch it?
Yeah. Is that the Amazon?
Yeah,
the Amazon
come
one?
out, yeah.
You know, it's a puff piece. You know, I'm not going to believe it all. And, you know, I like her. I think she's very dignified. I think she's beautiful. I think she represents America really well. I think her heart's in the right place. I have no axe to grind with Melania Trump. I think she's great.
Do you have a problem with people are saying to Donald Trump right now that they want Barron Trump to be on the board of TikTok? You have a problem with that?
I don't want any college student on the board of anything. I mean, you know, come on. I'd like to be on the board of TikTok. I'm more qualified than Barron Trump.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
That's a DEI hire.
He
Barron
knows,
Trump,
but he
isn't it a
knows more
DEI
about TikTok than you do.
He does, but it's a DEI hire.
You can't even Zelle somebody on your bank account.
I can't.
You can't even. I just saw you. You were struggling. You wanted to get some information right here. If we had our guy call,
True.
he would have told you if John Fetterman's Jewish or not. Our audience is still waiting for that answer. You
But
can't work that.
I have enough common sense to ask a young kid, what should I do? You know, get me through this.
And that's how you're going to be on the board. Then you're stealing. You should be
But
able
is
to be.
Barron Trump business savvy enough to be on the board of a Fortune, whatever the hell it is, media company?
I don't know. You grow up with Donald Trump being your father. Don't you think that's...
Holy smokes, Govy, our show's over. You got to give your picks out before it's over. Look at it. It's 49 minutes.
I'm taking it easy.
We only paid for 50 minutes here.
I'm taking it easy on my picks this week. We ended up, I split last week, but the VIG is a killer.
I know.
So I lost on the VIG, but there were some crazy games. Some of these overtime games, the Eagles game, for instance, 5 different penalties that, like, the referees, by the way, are controlling some of these outcomes
They
of
always
games.
have, though.
But they're now so much money.
Is it any different? It's always been
because
this
there's
way.
a lot of money there's more money on it now.
Because the money's legal money. Before there was a lot of money, you just didn't know about it. The bookies
You
had it.
didn't have 15-year-old kids in 7th grade
That's a
betting
good point.
$20.
That's a good point.
You got these guys watching these
Yeah.
games and they're betting on players.
Yeah,
and
you're
stuff.
right.
I mean, did you ever have a 14-year-old say, "Wait a second, let me call my bookmaker"?
So, if you're going to give one game out, what is the Eagles game? What's the spread on the game tonight?
I think the Eagles are like
3.5?
Yeah, like 4. I like the Eagles.
Eagles.
I
and
like the
4.5.
Eagles.
Yeah, I mean against the Giants, it's a division rivalry.
And I do want to give a little shout out. University of Miami football. They're the #1 team in the country.
They're great.
The U
We both went there, folks.
and the U is back. I mean, this is it. They are back.
They're back. I mean, it's great stuff.
Basketball season starting. Let's go Knicks. Sixers.
Oh God, basketball's too long. What is that? A 14-month
hockey's
season?
pretty
I
long.
mean, yeah, I mean basketball's forever. But let's stay on the Eagles here. I mean, it's a division rivalry.
It's New York. Saquon
It's
Barkley.
New York. Saquon
Short week.
Short week. I don't know. I wouldn't bet the game. I don't like the odds. Short week, division rivalry. Eagles came off of a loss. They're probably all hyped up for this one.
I don't know. They're hurt. They're banged up.
Yeah.
But the good thing is,
Why not lay off of it? You got to bet it? Lay
no,
off of
as
it.
I thought, I don't know.
I like
and I got the
advice.
Phillies. And then there's the Flyers. There's
I
a
don't
lot
like
going
the
on
Phillies
tonight.
tonight, folks.
I do.
Why?
I like our pitcher. I like Sanchez. He's our ace.
Isn't what's his name pitching for the Dodgers?
No, Ohtani? No.
Ohtani?
He'll probably pitch Game 5 if there's a Game 5.
Wait, he pitched game 1. Why wouldn't he pitch game 4?
Because they have this guy that also pitched Game 1 that relieved him, who's also a superstar pitcher. He's ready. He's fresh. And by the way,
fresh.
Ohtani, by the way, no one's talking. His batting, he only has like 1 hit in the
Yeah,
entire
he's doing
series.
lousy. But, I mean, I think if I was the manager, so we talked about this, folks. It's the craziest thing. Billy Martin, back in the day, when he was the coach of the Yankees, and I asked Govy this question, he nailed it. In a 164 game
162 games.
162 game Major League Baseball season, the difference between the best manager and the worst manager, I'll leave you with this question. Next week we'll reveal the answer. How's that?
Okay.
Worst manager versus the best manager. How many games does
Does he make up?
does the best manager make over the worst manager?
Okay.
It's a crazy statistic.
Try to remember that. Maybe our director will remind you.
Sleeping
of
over
that.
there.
Anyway.
All right, folks. Govy.
Hopefully this will be a
Hamas.
good night for Philadelphians, or it could be a miserable night. Seasons can end tonight.
And hopefully it's a good night for the hostages, and we pray they get released.
And I hope that you can at least watch one of these games tonight because you're probably
No, I'm going to try and watch it.
Okay.
All right, folks.
We'll see ya.
Have a great week.